Finally, of our three, we have Melissa Martin. Melissa is a licensed occupational therapist with 24 years of experience, 15 of which have been dedicated to long-term care. She currently works at Oceanview Continuing Care Center, facilitating a better quality of life for her residents through meaningful occupations. From Dieppe, New Brunswick, she now lives in Dartmouth with her husband and 3 children. And Melissa will be telling us about Oceanview's Therapeutic Nursery. So please welcome Melissa.
I think this is at a good height. Technically, it's 2 o'clock, so I thought we only had 10 minutes each, so we're out of time. No, it's okay. I'm here to talk about, to present my special project that I was involved at Oceanview. So again, my name is Melissa Martin. I work as an occupational therapist at Oceanview, and so I'm supposed to talk to you about how I turn this little storage nook, almost a closet, into a therapeutic nursery. And the short version, or very quick version, I purchased a mini crib, shelving. I already had some therapeutic dolls on hand, and it's called a locking rocking chair. And it locks, so it's safe. I put it all together within a couple of weeks, and it was done. So that's my story. But it really doesn't tell you why I think it was important to have a nursery in a nursing home. Many years ago, people would have really thought that didn't belong in a nursing home for sure. And it doesn't really say where I got that idea. I'm trying to think if I have to change slides or not. Okay. So I've been working 14 years, and I really love my job, actually. And this is actually a way of me showing what I do when I have a minute. I can grab a minute, and what I have fun to do. Although I like everything I do. The most important thing is to improve the quality of life of residents, and I do that on a daily basis. It's very easy for me because my role, I always give my residents wheelchairs, and I also can't stop my voice from shaking. Sorry, but other than that, when I give a wheelchair to a resident, it automatically, usually, it's to improve their ability to mobilize in the nursing home. So I improve their quality of life. I change cushions and mattresses, and I make them more comfortable. That's the easy part of my job. And I mean, I do enjoy that, but that's not the best moments of my job. My best moment is when I get to really work with a resident individually. I try to find them an activity that brings them more purpose, a sense of meaning. And in that sense, it usually brings them moments of joy. And oftentimes, if they're happy a couple of minutes, it sometimes lingers and prolongs in time during the day. So I see that as free OT services. And I really enjoy that when I see residents engaged in meaningful activities, actually participating in things on their own, or even with family, and I don't even have to be directly involved. So, okay, my point is that I couldn't start with just proposing a nursery. Sorry, it's there. A nursery at Oceanview. Before I had to convince them that even therapeutic dolls were important, because that I'm talking about, well, 15 years ago, we didn't see much of therapeutic dolls. So for me, and lots of people, I don't know what your favorite childhood memory is, but mine involves the love of dolls. And I remember my best day. One of my best days was the day that I received my Cabbage Patch doll. And I don't know what I was seeing in that, because it doesn't look like a real baby at all, but for me, it was my baby. And I remember that day very clearly. When I received it, I was running around all over the neighborhood trying to find my best friend just to show her my new baby. And I did everything with her. I would put her to bed, I would comb her hair. Well, it wasn't really her hair, but I would braid it. and I would dress it and everything. And I even got a picture in the newspaper. Well, twice, actually. That's just one. So that's what I have. I don't have the second one. I just remember it, so no proof. Yeah, so that was what I really enjoyed. And what's crazy about having, sorry. Yes, okay, so, well, actually, so I've always been attracted to alternative therapy, and I don't know if it's occupational therapy or just my love of dolls. For sure, I was naturally inclined to read up on the benefits of using therapeutic dolls in nursing homes with the elderly population. I mean, I was reading up on how it decreases anxiety, how it brings joy, and it's what's the amazing thing about it, residents can easily forget what they ate for breakfast and where they live, or even somebody that's familiar with them, but that instinct of that paternal, maternal instinct, it's still deep down ingrained in them. And when they see, well, children are the best, for sure. If you have real babies and real children, and you bring them in a nursing home, you get really nice results with that, for sure. It's just not always convenient. And with dolls, what I was reading up on and thinking, I just felt that it would be more practical to bring in those therapeutic dolls because they don't cry and they don't have to sleep. And there's something about babies. This is a picture of my mother and her friends with my youngest daughter. Because of course, my favorite memory was with my doll when I was young, but that really moved up to in importance when I had my 3 wonderful children. I don't have a picture of my children for some reason. I have a lot of pictures of my children, but not of me like enjoying my children, because I was always taking pictures. But here I have a picture, and like the activity was simple. It's amazing how babies, you get mesmerized by them. You don't even have to do anything. They were just staring at my baby on a table, and that was the activity. And they were all very happy. I mean, I wasn't doing therapy with them, but I mean, I was enjoying my baby at the same time. But it was amazing. So that's when well, not when, that wasn't in 2015, but in 2015, that's when I actually had $500 to my OT budget, and I decided to, and somehow I convinced somebody that I was able to purchase just two therapeutic dolls from the Alzheimer's Canada store, and these dolls, I have another slide. These dolls are, like, they were weighted. They were like about the size of a 3-month-old, very cuddly. I mean, personally, I love them. They were, I mean, and this, in 2015, it's not that long ago, but even at that time, in our nursing home, we only had like plastic dolls, like that you get at the Toys R Us. Nothing against Toys R Us. There was a difference with these dolls. And so for the residents, I mean, for the most part, I don't remember any residents not commenting or reacting well to these dolls. Even the residents that knew that they were dolls, they were reminiscing with me about their childhood memories and whatnot. So, and they were having fun. I had some resident parade with the doll just to show, and he was in a power wheelchair, so he would just bring it all over the place just to show everybody the new addition to Oceanview. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the only thing, and like staff, it was a little bit different because they weren't used to seeing real lifelike dolls, so it was they were kind of reserved at first, but that really went away. It was accepted very quickly once they saw how good they could be used by resident. I mean, it wasn't a huge success automatically because 2 dolls, and at the time, we were a facility of 176 residents, so it doesn't go very far. Luckily, in 2016, we had Dr. Claire Nallen. She's a physician. She was a physician at Oceanview at the time, and she was also very big on supporting alternative therapy, and she purchased a couple more dolls. So It was great. I mean, it was enough to do something, to see the effects of it. But after that, the budget was cut. So I only got to spend it 1 year. I don't know why, but it doesn't mean it's always like that. That's just, it's always a start. You have to start somewhere. Because then in 2022, that's when it really got interesting, because we had babies. The babies didn't have babies, and we still have the original babies, actually, from 2015. They're still, you just have to clean them a little bit, and they're in good shape. But I got word from that the Oceanview Foundation was looking to improve the quality of life of residents. They wanted suggestions to purchase things, and I'm very strong on suggestions when it's somebody else's money. So I volunteer my idea to purchase more dolls, more babies, not in specific ones. And I get to shop for them, so that's really joyful for me too. They agreed for sure. Then we had a couple of dolls for each neighborhoods. But, and of course, sometimes more doesn't always mean better. It creates problems. So there was a little setback. So we had plentiful of therapeutic dolls, but there was a new concern. There wasn't any place to store them. And it was kind of not a distraction, but kind of like it wasn't a success for me. I was seeing dolls in unsafe places. They weren't, residents couldn't access them. And technically, a therapeutic doll, in order for it to be successful, you're not supposed to just say, hey, here, you can use that doll. It doesn't work that way. Some people just enjoy seeing the doll. They just want to look at the doll, or the baby. They don't want to hold it. That's too stressful, you know? And you have to respect that. Ideally, they should be able to choose, the resident, they should be able to choose when they want to be interacting with the doll. Or, yeah, and plus it's not very inviting to see, like that. Those aren't the worst pictures. There's worse pictures. I have a really problem with babies left naked, and I also have a problem when they're piled on each other and things like that. So I had to show staff, and that's where the idea of a therapeutic nursery came about. I was like, I need to find a solution. Like, that doesn't work. It's not really inviting, and I feel like I'm responsible for it because I was the one that got those dolls in, and I didn't want to create chaos. And luckily, things have changed because my budget came back in 2023. I mean, I've always relied on funding and donations and things like that, but to do special projects, it's a little bit more complicated. When you have your budget, you have a little bit more freedom. And Oceanview is very supportive for new projects, for sure. It's just they don't have the funding to pay. So if I already have the funding, the yes comes much easier. There was a change in the province, and the funding for OT services directly for OT interventions was increased, or not increased, it was just protected. So now I have access to that, and I felt that a therapeutic nursery was an OT intervention, and everybody seemed to agree. And that's where I got the money, found the solution, and we have plenty of little accessible alcoves in Oceanview because it's an older building, so that's where it was. And I will say that nursery is not the only project that happened 2023, because I felt everything needed a place, and we needed a lot of places for residents to explore successfully. That was my intention, because I want them to be able to participate and be part of their environment. I don't want them to be just not able to touch anything, or not have anything to touch, because normally there's nothing to touch. We take everything away from them. So, I mean, I do have a garden center outside in a wandering garden. There's a workbench that's with safe exploratory things. I don't have it pictured there, but I have an activity space that's really aimed for successful activities. So the puzzles aren't 2,000 pieces. We're now at 200 pieces, 100 pieces, and they're appropriate for the clientele. They're not Bugs Bunny and, I don't know why I thought of Bugs Bunny, but, anyways, they're appropriate, like, puzzles and books. And I do have a library too, and I didn't realize I was sitting next to the presenter, but it's only a picture book library, and that's the latest project that we have a lot of residents that now are coming directly, and they have actually destinations in the facility to go to on their own. So it does make a difference. And so again, with the best moments of my work, when I see residents actually interacting with those projects with the nursery, it's really joyful. And I do have plans for another nursery, so they're just asleep. But yeah, we'll have another nursery that's, we're gonna put it in the common area, because the one we have right now is in the Lock neighborhood, so it only serves for 35 residents. But we are gonna have one that serves for the rest of the residents as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.